Fully outsourced manufacturing orders are how you manage production that happens completely outside your facility. Let's walk through setting an external manufacturing order in Digit. To walk you through the setup from start to finish, we'll be using our demo account Cacao and Friends, where a premium specialty bar, the Orange Pistachio Blossom Chocolate Bar, is manufactured entirely by a trusted external partner. Before you get started, you'll need to have a service item created that represents the outsourced job. For a full walkthrough on creating service items, check out the items article linked below. To begin, navigate to Production from the left sidebar and click Create a Mo in the top right corner. In the Select Item modal, search for the item you'll be producing externally. We'll search for Orange Pistachio. Select the item you searched for and click Add Item. You'll be taken to the Create Manufacturing Order screen. If a sub-assembly model appears, go ahead and click Skip. We won't be covering sub-assemblies for this video. On the right side of the screen, you'll find the Order Details panel. There are a few important fields to fill in before hitting Create. First, set the job type and set it to Outsource. Once you select that, you'll see an Output Location field. This is where the finished goods will be received once the job is done. Select the appropriate location from the drop-down. From there, continue filling in the remaining fields relevant to your setup. Next, head on over to the Materials table. Scroll all the way to the right and you'll find the Supplied by column. This is where you define whether each material will be provided by your vendor or supplied by you. For top-level BOM items, you can select vendor or self from the drop-down. If an item has a child component, expanding the parent will make the parent's drop-down unavailable, and the children's drop-downs will become individually selectable, letting you specify who supplies each component separately. In our example, we'll keep pistachios and choco base set to self and the rest to vendor. Once everything looks good, you can go ahead and click Create MO. Right after the MO is created, a new linked purchase order model will appear. This is where you link the service item that represents the outsourced job. Click on the service item field and search for or scroll to find the right item. In our case, we'll be selecting Orange and Pistachio Blossom Outsourced Production. If a vendor is already defined for that service item, the vendor field will pre-fill automatically. You can always update it if needed. Once you've filled it out, click Save to create the PO and link it to the MO. If you're not ready to do this, you can also click Skip for now and create the linked PO later from within the MO. After saving, you'll be back on the MO screen. You'll notice the linked PO now appears in the Links to row on the right side. Click the drop-down there to open the linked PO and finalize its details. Inside the PO, you'll need to fill in the vendor address and the bill and ship to fields. You can set these separately, or if billing and shipping are going to the same place, just check billing same as shipping to fill both at once. From here, you can also adjust the quantity and unit cost. In our example, our vendor charges $5 per bar. So with 100 bars, the total comes out to $500. Once everything looks right, click Save. Now it's time to pick the self-supplied materials. Only materials marked as self can be picked. If inventory isn't available, you'll see the options to buy or make the item depending on how it's configured. Clicking Buy will open a new PO model, and clicking Make will prompt you to create a new manufacturing order. Once the items have been received or made, or if they are already available, you can proceed to pick inventory and work through the work orders. Once you've worked through all the work orders and reached the last one, you'll be prompted to set up your first container. Select the container type and the bin location where the finished product will be stored. Then click Create Container. On the right side of the work order screen, take note of the output location, showing the connected manufacturing order, confirming everything is wired up correctly. You can create one or more containers depending on your setup. Once a container is created, enter the quantity and click Add to Container. When all quantities have been logged, click Complete Work Order. You'll notice the work order status changes to completed. Navigate back to the manufacturing order, and you'll see that it's marked as completed there as well. Before we wrap up, head over to the Costing tab on the manufacturing order. You can navigate here at any time to find a full cost breakdown, including materials, labor, and the external cost from the outsourced job, all rolled up into a total. Also note that once the manufacturing order is completed, the linked PO is automatically marked as complete and closed. And that's how you set up and complete a fully outsourced manufacturing order in Digit.